I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim. And the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable. So it's disappointing.
Breaking news, the WNBA world is in chaos after Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White finally said what fans have been screaming for weeks: the referees are rigging games. Her fiery post-game rant wasn't just frustration, it was a direct call-out to the league's officiating corruption after Caitlin Clark was blatantly fouled in the final seconds of a nail-biting loss.
Third quarter was really, really good. Obviously, if we won the quarter by 17 points, that's what put us in a position to have a chance to win. So essentially, we really played one good quarter of basketball and lost to the defending champions by 2. So I guess that's positive. A lot of ways to continue to get better.
This wasn't just another loss. Indiana went toe-to-toe with the defending champs, outscoring the Liberty by 17 in the third quarter. Aaliyah Boston dominated with 27 points and 13 rebounds. Lexi Hull stepped up in her first start. Clark, as usual, was fearless, slicing through defenders, hitting big threes, dishing 10 assists.
You talked about the way that the game's been officiated for you guys. How did you see the foul that was not called, or a lack of foul, on the Bonner play, and then follow it up by Lexi Hull getting called for the foul?
I thought it was egregious, honestly. I thought it was obvious. I felt like AB got one. Had one going to the rim. They're in rotation. DB's was crazy. And then Lexi's, I felt like equally, we talk about, coming into the path, and it was an offensive player veering into the defensive player's path. It is what it is. We have to be able to play through it, but at the same time, I feel like it's really disrespectful.
3 devastating calls or non-calls decided this game. First, Bonner gets hacked going to the rim. No whistle. Second, Lexi Hull called for a foul when she's in perfect defensive stance. Then the finale, Caitlin Clark grabs the ball with 2.9 seconds left. Clear contact. The kind of foul that's automatic, but nothing.
On the plus side, you could say you're 2 possessions away from being 4-0 in these games. Do you look at it from both sides? Here are the positives of this, and then here are the things we really want to work on?
Yeah, and that's probably what's frustrating about it too, is we are 2 possessions from being 4-0, but there was so many little areas in this game that we could have improved. Our defense, again, to start the game was poor. And we got to find a way to come out with more energy, being able to guard. And yes, they present a very tough challenge when all 5 of them can make threes, and they're setting inverted ball screens, things like that. It's a challenge, but you got to find a way to do it.
Stephanie White didn't hold back. She said the word fans were too afraid to say: disrespect. She didn't just talk about one bad game, she exposed a pattern. A minus 31 free throw differential over multiple games.
Disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable. So it's disappointing, that it doesn't go both ways, or it hasn't gone both ways. But we also can't allow that to consume us, right? We've got to be able to play through that. We've got to be able to control the things that we can control.
Fans, journalists, even former pros are lighting up social media. Everyone saw it. Everyone's asking, what's going on? Why is the league's biggest star getting no protection, not from players, not from refs, not even from the league itself? Feels like every game we've really only put 2 quarters together. We're kind of waiting for that, 4 quarters of really good basketball, and I think it's going to be a learning curve. This group is new. We haven't played a ton together, so but that's what's going to have to happen if we want to beat the really good teams in this league, is you got to find a way to put together 4 really good quarters. There's going to be runs. That's basketball. They're going to go on their runs. We got to be able to find a way to stop them and then respond. So I think that's an area we can certainly improve in. Clark isn't just dealing with tough defenders. She's facing a full-on gauntlet. Every play is physical. Every call is a gamble. And through it all, she's expected to carry the league. But what happens when the league doesn't carry her?
I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not.
Let's talk numbers. In this game alone, Liberty, 32 free throws. Fever, 15. That's more than double. And those free throws, including the phantom ones, won the game. That's not coincidence. That's systemic. Even the final score proves it. New York needed help from the refs to squeak by. Without those calls, this game's not even close.
For us, we just have to make sure that we're playing consistent throughout the whole game. It's pretty easy to just say that our, not getting over the hump in that fourth quarter, but I think our start, in that second quarter, they outscored us by a bit. So we have to make sure that our start is better so that when we do get to the fourth quarter, it doesn't have to be this close. But I mean, it was competitive basketball. We dug ourselves in a hole to start. We got back in it, tied the game up. Sometimes the ball just doesn't roll your way, but I think if we prioritize the way we start, it's going to be better for us in that fourth quarter.
Now, it's not just the fans. The media is erupting. ESPN's talking heads, WNBA legends, everyone is questioning what just happened. The word rigged isn't a conspiracy anymore. It's a conversation.
Then she holds her, watch this, with her shoulder and on her arm when she follows through and then fouls her for the fourth time on her arm. It's cheating. It's plain as day. The haters will say she got locked up. Yeah, if you're fouling the whole game. But I'm going through this entire game. The corrupt refs gave this game to New York and they still barely won.
This isn't the first time Stephanie White has gone to battle for her players. Known for her fiery passion and no-nonsense attitude, she's been a player's coach her whole career. But this moment, it's different. This was personal. This was war. So what happens now? The Fever have another tough matchup this weekend. The spotlight is on the officials, the league office, the WNBA leadership. Will anything change? Or will the sabotage continue?
Three off target. Batted a lot. Bodies on the floor. Clark 1-on-3 trying to split the defense. Goes into traffic and reverses it off the glass. And a fearless Caitlin Clark here.
Watch how she uses her body to shield the defender. That's just beautifully done by Caitlin Clark.
This league has a choice: protect its stars and rise, or watch them fade out one by one under the weight of bias and silence. Caitlin Clark didn't sign up to be the league's punching bag. She signed up to play basketball.
No pass shot possessions for New York. Clark, step back three. Oh, she hit it and draws the foul. Welcome back, Caitlin Clark.
The WNBA must answer. Stephanie White spoke for all of us. Caitlin Clark deserves better. The fans deserve better. And if the league wants to survive, it better start listening.
Three off target. Batted a lot. Bodies on the floor. Clark 1-on-3 trying to split the defense. Goes into traffic and reverses it off the glass. And a fearless Caitlin Clark here.
Watch how she uses her body to shield the defender. That's just beautifully done by Caitlin Clark.
Last night, something broke in the WNBA. Not just hearts, but trust. Stephanie White, head coach of the Indiana Fever, took a public stand after her team, led by Caitlin Clark, lost in a game many are calling the most blatantly rigged matchup of the season. The footage doesn't lie. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy, a no call on the final possession, and a team that was robbed of victory right in front of our eyes.
Refs messed up 3 calls in the last 3 possessions of this game. First, DeWanna Bonner gets absolutely destroyed, no call.
White's rage wasn't just about a bad night. It was about a system failing her team over and over. In her own words, pretty egregious. That's coach speak for absolutely unacceptable.
And then Sabrina Ionescu makes the contact.
With 2.9 seconds left, Caitlin Clark had the chance to tie the game. Instead, she was hacked repeatedly. Natasha Cloud made contact on the catch during the shot, and even after, but the refs swallowed their whistles.
This is the worst one. There's 1 foul. There's 2 fouls. Then she holds her, watch this, with her shoulder and on her arm when she follows through and then fouls her for the 4th time on her arm. It's cheating. It's plain as day. The haters will say she got locked up. Yeah, if you're fouling the whole game. but I'm going through this entire game. The corrupt refs gave this game to New York, and they still barely won.
This wasn't a one-off. White revealed the Fever had 31 fewer free throw attempts than their opponents over recent games. They're not just playing opponents, they're fighting refs.
Steph, given your perspective on the first 4 games, is that something you've already tried to be proactive with the league, or you'll reach out to them and let your feelings known?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a system to making sure that we can send stuff in and communicate, our grievances, so to speak. I don't know that I ever feel like the system works. We're not looking for a change. We're just looking for consistency. I felt like the second half of Atlanta, at least at our place, was at least consistent, right? And that's the thing that we're looking for.
Despite the injustice, Aaliyah Boston dominated with 27 points and 13 rebounds. Lexi Hull dropped 15 in her first start. And Clark? She fought through double teams, elbows, and silent.
Accept officiating without letting it, affect how you go about and execute the rest of the game.
Yeah, when it comes to accepting, it's like we don't really have a choice because they're going to call what they want to call. And so for us, even for me, I miss some of those easy around the rim. I think for me, I have to put them in the rim for just post talk. And we just have to finish through contact. If we don't get it, we don't get it, but we have to give ourselves the best opportunity to get that basket.
The media didn't stay silent. Fans erupted across social platforms calling for an investigation. Hashtags like #RiggedForLiberty and #JusticeForClark started trending just hours after the final buzzer.
We'll have a couple of days to get some work in practice, and we'll use that as an opportunity to look at some of those things. We've got to continue to do what got us here. We got to move the ball. We've got to hit singles, not make home run plays. We have a tendency to try to make the home run play all the time, the dagger or the play that gets the momentum going, or and it doesn't need to be that way. We can make the easy plays. So those were more of the communications, keeping our intensity level on both ends of the floor. You can't relax. The margin for error when you're talking about playing championship caliber teams is so small.
White's press conference wasn't just about officiating, it was about fairness in sports. About players putting their bodies on the line only to have games taken out of their hands. But there's a twist. This heartbreak may be the fire that forges a championship team. Clark said it best, we're 2 possessions from being 4-0. The Fever have a message. This league will not silence them. Every blown call will be remembered. Every foul ignored will be replayed. The WNBA can either fix this or watch its credibility collapse. You saw what happened. A team cheated out of a win. A coach brave enough to speak truth. A rookie star robbed on national television. Now the question is, what will the league do about it? This isn't the first time officiating has stained the WNBA. From Lisa Leslie's final season to controversial texts on Diana Taurasi and Angel McCautry, biased calls have changed careers. The WNBA begged for her brilliance, and now it's fading fast. Not because she lost her talent, but because they forgot how to protect it. The question now isn't whether Caitlin Clark will bounce back, it's whether the league even deserves her. Clark's comments triggered speculation that her health, both mental and physical,